Okay, so for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to make a medium-sized 3D cardstock paper rose. Right here, you guys see that I have a pile of different size petals. I will leave the stencil size that I ended up using from the Cricut design space app on the phone that I have, and also whose, I guess you can say, file I got it from. So I pretty much just ended up using the Cricut machine just to cut out the stencil, and then ended up tracing these on a cardstock paper that's 12 by 12 inches, and each one I believe was, I think it has like a pound number on it. It's 65 pounds. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this one's for the red paper. I already made the red flowers, so since I wasn't able to record that for you guys, I'm going to do it in a different color this time. But the colors I ended up getting was red, ivory, and white. Okay, so like I said, you guys see here, I have my style, I have my piles of the different sizes of the petals. So this one that I'm holding here, this one is going to be the smallest petal, and this pretty much is going to end up being like the middle part of the rose, inside part of the rose, like where the rosebud starts to bloom little by little. And then this right here ends up being the next size, so this would be the second row of petals. And these ones are pretty much going to be once the rose already starts to bloom. And then the large size of the petals on the rose, and this one is going to be on the outer side. So for this size of the petals, you're going to use 6, and then for the second row of the petals, this size, you're going to use 8, and then for the smaller size, which is going to be the inner part of the rose, the rosebud, you're going to use 10 of these. And then also you see that I have circles here cut out as well. These circles are meant to be like a cover for the base of the rose. So once you form the rose, on the bottom, if you flip it over, you're going to end up seeing like all of the petals that were like glued onto each other, so it doesn't look too messy. This is going to be the cover that goes on top. And also, I had seen that you end up pretty much like gluing on the bottom. You'll glue whatever you want to use to be able to hang your rose on display, however or wherever. So you can either use wire, yarn, string, ribbon, or even little hooks. You pretty much have to make sure that you use something that's going to be strong enough to hold these, because they do tend to be a little heavy. Okay, so now what we're going to do next is, as you guys see that there's the ivory color and the white, we're going to separate the colors. And then once I have them all separated, then we'll be able to start forming the inner part of the rose, which would be the rosebud. Okay, so now to start making the medium-sized rose, we're going to start off with the smaller petals. So this is going to be where we start making the rosebud. So now, if you guys remembered, I had said that for this one we were going to need 10, right? So to start off the center, first we are going to need 4 petals, and we are going to glue them together, but kind of making like the shape of a flower itself, or a cross. So put it like that with some glue, and then grab some more glue, put it over, like that, and then you're going to end up with this little shape, like that. So let me glue this real quick, and then I'll show you guys what it's going to look like once they're all glued together. Alright, so now we have our 4 petals glued to each other, forming this little, I don't know, you're going to call it a flower shape, a clover, not sure, a cross. Okay, so now what we end up doing is you can choose whichever 2 petals you want to put together. So I'm going to start off by doing these on the side. So you're kind of going to form them into like a little bevel shape. So what you're going to do is, you're going to grab them, and then put this end with the inside part of this end. And just keep doing that. Like you're kind of making a little volcano, kind of. See? Just like that. And then you want to make sure you leave a little opening in the middle so it looks like the opening that most rosebuds have before they actually bloom all the way. Okay. So if you're having a difficult time doing that, you can either use a pencil, a pen, or a little roller that they usually sell at like the arts and crafts stores. But me, what I'm going to use, this is one of my glue sticks for my hot glue gun. So I just use that as a center to hold this stuff in place. Okay, so now after having your little volcano, you're going to end up folding the 2 petals that you have left over. You're going to fold them into that bevel shape, and what you're going to do is you're going to end up gluing this end and this one right here to the side. So you kind of want both ends should be somewhat overlapping each other, just a little bit, like that, if you guys can see. And pretty much what it's doing is it's just making it seem like the rosebud is starting to bloom, like that. You have it glued right here on the side, and then it's glued here on the side. So now next what you're going to do is you're going to grab 2 of your petals, and you're going to start gluing them individually to your little bud that you made. So you're going to grab one, and always start gluing the petals on the side where the last 2 ended up overlapping each other. So that way it looks a little bit better, and it doesn't look funny if you were to do it on this side. This is what ends up giving it that actual like rose look. Okay, so just how it is. Grab it, and then we're gonna glue it on there so you guys can see how it makes that little taco shape right here. Just like that, just like so. Go ahead, add some glue on the sides. And once again, be careful, this stuff is super hot. Oops. Hold that on there for a couple seconds. Okay. There we go. And then the other one, we're going to do the same thing too. Okay. So now, we're going to make the last 2 little taquito shaped petals for the rosebud. Okay, so the same how we did with this one, you're going to do with this. Glue it on, like so. And then this one as well, like that. And then you should end up with something like this. Alright, so after having our little rosebud thing formed, you guys can see the sides. Now, and then again, it's very important, don't forget to glue the bottom parts, guys. Don't forget. So we'll set this aside real quick. Now with the last 2 petals, because we already used 8 to form the rosebud, we're going to use these 2. And what you're going to end up doing is, you're going to end up getting your pencil pen, your little rolling thing, whatever you wanted to use. And you're going to end up rolling inward the petals. So like I told you guys, oops, I was using my glue stick. Just grab it. I'm going to, roll it right here. Like so, just roll a little bit in. And then on the other side, like this. Okay. And then you're also gonna start making a crease down the center of the petal. So you guys see how we ended up rolling these inward on this side? You're gonna do the crease in the center of the petal, but on the other side, so the opposite side. So put that right there. And then just crease it a little bit. You don't necessarily need to use a pencil pen or anything to crease them up. I mean, you can do it with your hands, like that. Okay, so after you do that with the petals, creasing them, now you're going to start gluing them right here on the sides. Remember, where the last 2 petals overlapped each other. And you're going to put them with the crease part of the petal that was rolled inward. This is going to be facing out when you glue it onto the rosebud. So instead of gluing them like this, you're going to glue them this way. Just like that. Okay, so we got this here. So pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to put glue on this part, the rectangle square part of the petal on both, and each one is going to go on each side where the last 2 petals overlapped. So you can either So since we already glued this one on, let me glue on the other side, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when both are on there. Alright everyone, so now here's a rosebud with the last 2 petals on the side. Now these ones are supposed to represent as soon as it starts to like bloom, I guess. So our small size petals are done. We already used up all 10. What it looks like from the side, and this is what it looks like from the top. So set that aside. Now we're going to start with the second layer of roses, or you can say, I guess, the second row of roses. I mean the petals. The second row of petals we're going to start using now. So we'll put that right there. So we're going to use these ones. So now, the same thing we did with the last 2 small petals these two that we ended up rolling the sides inward and then the middle as well to make the petals look like they're blooming. We're going to do the same thing to this size and then the next one after this one. So again, here I go. To the side, up a little bit more you can, just by using your hands. You don't have to use a little rolling thingy. Okay. Okay. Do that. So now what we're going to end up doing is we're going to start filling in the gaps. So as you guys see that on this one, only 2 petals were on this side. Now we're going to use the bigger size of the petals, this size, on these 2 sides right here that don't have a petal. So just how we did with this one, you're going to pinch it at the bottom where you glue it. So put some glue right here, on this side, and then on this side. And again, be careful with those fingers when using anything that involves using hot glue. So we grab it, pinch this a little bit, and then you put it right there. There we go. Hold it there for a couple minutes, just at least until the glue gets a good hold of the paper where it needs to go. There we go. So you see? And now we're going to do the same thing to the next petal. That's going to go on the opposite side. That you place them on the sides where there's a gap, where you see that petals are missing. Okay, so if you guys do remember for this size, the second row of petals, it was 8 total, right? And here we've already glued 4. So for the extra 4 that we have left, we're going to end up putting those here on these sides. And in order to do that, we're going to have to start cutting this part right here of the petal. A little bit, just like that, a little slit. So that way it's easier to put them on to the center and rose. It's okay if you guys think this is your first try. As you see, this is like barely my second time making paper, like flowers in general. And it's been like a really long time since when I first made my first ones. So the way how I'm making it might look a little funky and it's okay, but as long as we get the end result that we're looking for, then that's all that matters, right? Okay, so here is the rose with the second row of petals all glued on. Again, honestly, when it comes to making these like paper roses, you guys can stop at any moment. If this is a size you feel that is good enough for you, being a medium size, you can stop here. Now I'm going to start adding the larger sizes. So then again, we're going to end up cutting right here. We're going to end up cutting right here in the middle. Okay. Alright. So now as you guys see the flowers, again, you're going to start putting the next layer, or next row of petals on the parts where you see gaps. So we'll turn this away. So now as you guys can see here, there's like little gaps in between. So that's where the larger petals are gonna go. Alright, and here you are. Here you have your medium-sized paper rose made out of cardstock paper. There you are. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like on the back. It looks all crazy. And like I said, don't worry about that. That's not going to show because that is what that circle is for. So you can hide all of that ugliness that we don't want to show. So fit the perfect size. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.